tuning in. So this is a story about what you need to think about if you're looking to move to Africa or looking to relocate in general. This has come about because of an interview that I did with Amina. I'll put the link down below about my journey moving from UK to here. And I just thought about like some of the things I wish, actually kind of knew, but some of the things I think people who know me ask me, like how is it moving back? What do I need to do? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna list out a couple of things that I think you need to consider and I think you need to think about when you're planning to move back. So, one, you need to plan, right? So I didn't just wake up and said I'm moving to Kenya. I planned actually for a year. So at the beginning of January of 2015, I had a plan to move in December 2015, and within that plan, I also planned to come and test the waters for 2 months. So within my plan, I planned how much money I would save each month and how much money I wanted to take with me when moving, which raises another two things. When you're moving, don't just move. Don't just plan for a year and then make the big move. You need to come, test the waters, have a plan of what it is that you're coming to do, and then come and test that plan out. And don't do it for a month because a month is not long enough. Do it for 2 months or 3 months prior. And if you can do what I did. So prior moving, I'd already set this plan in motion, and this notion that I'm getting back into jewelry. So like 6 months before me coming to test the waters for 2 months, I had already started showcasing in my social media presence that I'm making jewelry again, and I was selling to people in the UK and stuff, and I'd open up my Etsy store. So I'd already started prepping people. So when I came, I started prepping people. I'm bringing stuff. Do you want to make your order? Blah blah blah. So by the time I came, I'd made my money back, the money that I'd spent for my ticket and stuff, and I'd already set that plan in motion. And then during my time, I connected with people that I know that are doing stuff within the retail kind of industry, started to get to know what's happening in the fashion world and what have you. And then during my time here for 2 months, I actually linked up with a friend of mine, and I'm showcasing his work, One On Many Effort, and they had a standard Koroga festival. So we hooked up and we joined, we split, and he gave me a table because they were offering 2 tables. So I got a table, and so I got to sell my stuff there, and it was my first exhibition into the country. It was a good experience to kind of know what I need to do and what I need to expect, and just be willing to put myself out there. Second thing that it raises about planning is you need to have enough money to last you, with the idea that you might not make any money, at least for the first 6 months. So save, like Susie Ullman, who's a financial guru. I'm sure that's not her title, but she's American, and she says that every person should have 8 months worth of savings as a set of emergency in case of anything. You could be in an accident, you could lose your job and not be able to get an income straight away. So you need to have enough money that will keep your life going. So when you're setting your plan in motion, you need to have enough money and enough savings to last you if you're not being able to gain a source of income when you've moved. So and then which brings the other thing to mind is that the 2 things that you need to kind of knuckle down when it comes to saving money is you need to have a place to stay. You need to figure out where you're going to stay. If you're fortunate enough to find a place where you don't have to worry about rent for a certain period of time, take advantage of that and thank your lucky stars and thank those people who are willing to house you for free or whatever your circumstances may be. Because rent is going to be your first problem, and then you need to have enough money for your social life in terms of getting food, getting transport, getting around. So you need to make sure you have those those two elements kind of knuckle down. So your cost of living, that's why it's really important to actually come for a period of time, because then you can kind of see what kind of living expenses you would be spending week by week, and then kind of get an idea of month by month. That's why 2 to 3 months is a good period to kind of see what it might be like, you know. It's like going to the shop, and before you buy the shoe, you can't just buy it, you need to see if it fits, right? So it's the same thing, kind of need to see if it fits, see what you need to do, what you need to adjust. If you really like the shoe and it's either too tight or too big, you might need to buy insoles, you might need to buy something, a shoe stretcher. So it's the same concept. When you move for 2 to 3 months, you kind of get to see what you need to adjust to and what you need to change. So those are the first three things you need to think about, which is your savings, your accommodation, and figure out your living expenses, and you need to come and stay for a period of time, right? Okay, the other thing that I feel like I would advise for anyone relocating is when you are traveling back and forth, like what I did for many years, maintain your contacts. In my video for entrepreneurship, there's one called Network Will Build Your Net Worth. You need to maintain your contacts, honey, sweetheart, because those contacts will link you and connect you to people. You see, the people that you're connecting with live and work in Kenya or in the country that you're moving to. So they will know what's happening, they will be able to connect you. You also need to build a network within the kind of industry that you want to get into, so that you can see what's happening and see what's going. That's really, really important. Now, if it's Kenya that you're moving specifically, and you've, like me, who's lived in UK or whatever, or States, what have you, in the Western world, let me tell you a couple of things, yeah? It is hot! Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, make sure that you're prepared for the heat, and this heat can actually generally move to your business as well, because it can cause dry periods all around. So be prepared for the heat in all rounds, from the real weather to the weather forecast that might happen in your business or whatever it is that you're trying to come and build. Second of all, kind of the culture is a little bit different. You know, there's a saying, I can't quite think, my aunt usually says about everything's kind of slow in Africa. That's quite true. Things kind of happen when they gonna happen. So you need to stop getting frustrated easily, and just the saying goes, when in Rome, live like the Romans, right? So if you've moved, wherever you've moved to, just adjust to how things are done and embrace it. And if there's things that you can do on your own, do them. But if you have to work with certain people or a lot of people, you just need to learn to adjust to that. And learn the law of your country that you're moving to. Learn the do's and the don'ts, learn the culture, learn what is acceptable in terms of dressing, especially if you're a female who's lived in the Western world for a long time. You need to learn how to dress, you need to learn how to communicate with people, how to talk to people. It's really, really important, because you could rub a serious contact the wrong way and rub that contact the wrong way, and it could ruin everything that you'd actually come to plan to do. And the thing is, like, everything in moderation. Kenya life is Nairobi life. I live in Nairobi specifically. The nightlife, the day life, it's lit. It's lit. Let me tell you, it's lit. So you need to be smart and wise, because you've relocated, you probably haven't got your job locked down or your business locked down. So you really need to be careful and learn to say no when you really need to say no. And don't be over social. Everything in moderation. So those are the things that I believe you need to think about if you are relocating to Kenya specifically, or anywhere in the world specifically. I think it applies to everyone. And thank you so much for listening. And yeah, if you want to watch the interview that I said that I did with Amina on K24, The link is down below and you can learn a little bit more about me. Yeah, take care wherever you are and remember to tune in next week Thursday for another video. Mwah!